magic makers, and welcome back to the Metaphysical Apothecary. We are your hosts, Shannon and Megan.
Hi, everyone.
Also known as the Scorpio Sisters, here to explore the mysterious, the magical, and the arcane. What you see in the decorated and designed home, you also can extrapolate to be the interior of yourself.
That's a really interesting way to put that. The way that your home is sort of arranged and taken care of reflects your inner landscape.
If you study feng shui, your front door is super important because that's the first place your energy will be coming to. And if the external energy comes to that front door and it's cluttered, you don't use it, you have a problem. You're going to have a problem with your career. You're going to have a problem with your money. You're going to have a problem with your family. You're going to have a problem with your energy because you're not using it.
Yeah.
And if
they say the state of your bed is the state of your head. And I find that that is very true for me. If my bed isn't made, then I just feel weird all day. I can't get my stuff together.
I had to redefine what it means to have a made bed. So the traditional made bed that I grew up with, if I do it that way, I feel weird. My bed has been messed up. My nest, my lair has been messed up. If I make my bed the way the Japanese tend to make their futons, then I am more at ease because I can quickly make it into a nest again instead of having to pull everything and wrap it around myself in a nest-like setting.
Right. And that's a really good example of how you can kind of tailor your environment to cut down on those little stressors. You changed the way that you made your bed from the way that you thought you quote unquote should make your bed to a way that really works for you. And that makes you feel good when you look at it.
Yep. And it's very easy to put back together if I just decide that, no, I want one blanket for a day nest while I'm working. I don't need the entire army of blankets that I happen to have on my bed. It's not like I have to mess up the entire quote unquote made bed. I just
you've made it functional for you, which lowers your stress. There's something called decision fatigue, where if we can lower the number of decisions, small decisions that we have to make in a day, it really lowers our stress and it can really feed the subtle body. It can really harmonize our energy. It can be little things from making your lunch the night before so you don't have to decide what you're going to have during the day. You just go and eat it. It can be things like just eating the same thing for breakfast every day. Maybe if you do want something different for breakfast every day, you have 5 or 6 recipes that you know you're going to make. You're not necessarily sure which day you're going to make them, but you know that you are going to make them. So all you have to do is pick one and make it. You don't have to give it too much effort. One of the other things that can be really important in an environment is smell. Scent is very, very powerful in terms of affecting your mood and affecting your sense of well-being.
Extremely important. A lot of times you can get sick or feel nauseous just by smelling something unpleasant, nasty, and deconstructive.
Mm-hmm. The opposite is also true. So if you think about a scent that you really, really hate, you're probably going to start to feel that in your body. And then if you start to think about just thinking about a scent that you love, like the smell of fresh oranges or lemons or vanilla, you're probably going to start to feel like you might feel your posture perk up. Like I started to think about the scent of oranges and my shoulders went back. I was definitely picturing a fresh orange, like how you pull the rind open and some of the oils burst out onto your hands and you can smell that right away. And
that's a pretty scent.
Smells are huge for stimulating responses in the body, for triggering memory. I'm sure we've all smelled something and been immediately transported back to the 3rd day of 5th grade. Pretty much anyone who is our age, we're both in our mid-30s, can remember what an elementary school textbook smells like.
Sickening.
My textbooks always smelled like new paper. It was nice.
We never really had a new textbook in my school. It was always hand-me-downs. So, it smelled like something that someone spilled on it or cooked meals for someone else's, cooked meals for a year. And
but you can remember what that smells like. And that made you icky in your body.
It very much did. It's like,
but we've all had experiences where we walk into a room and we smell something that smells like a meal that our grandmother used to make, or a perfume that a loved one wore, or just a favorite smell from like the sunscreen from the beach. Some people really gravitate to that because they love beach bathing in the summer, So when we fill our environment with things that smell good and make us feel good, that's another way we can care for our subtle body and steward our well-being. So you don't have to use any scent. If your environment smells okay most of the time and you don't really notice any unpleasantness, then you don't have to. You can diffuse essential oils or you can burn a scented candle if you're feeling particularly stressed. It is important when you're choosing smells that they're things that aren't going to be overpowering. They're things that you're going to want to smell for a long period of time. If you smell some cinnamon broom into your home, you may love the smell of that cinnamon broom. But if you're sitting there and your eyes are watering because the smell is so strong and intense, then it might be time to put that broom in another room or set it outside until the smell dissipates a little bit and you can enjoy it more. If any of these sensations that we're taking in are too intense, it has to pass through your subtle body first, and it's creating all of that jittery vibration still because so I live in a relatively small apartment. I've noticed that when I cook any kind of meat in here, then the smell just lingers. So cooking smells like that can just kind of linger in the air, and other scents can too. If anyone has pets, you have a dog, it gets humid and the dog's bed kind of has that smell. Everybody knows what I'm talking about. You're probably making a face.
You know I am.
Yeah. There are simple ways to help that smell dissipate. Obviously, you can diffuse essential oils. We're not going to get into aromatherapy. It's not safe for everyone and it's not accessible for everyone. So one of my favorite tricks is to take a couple of capfuls of vanilla and a couple of capfuls of either peppermint extract or lemon extract. Put them in an oven-safe ramekin and warm them in the oven at the lowest setting and just let that smell diffuse through the house. And it gets rid of anything that's not good, anything that's kind of smelly.
I definitely like the scent of vinegar. I know it's not everyone's cup of tea. I usually add a little bit of either a wedge or two of lemon to it, or if I'm lucky enough, I'll find some pine branches that are fresh from the tree it's fallen from. I'll add that, or I have orange. I add that to the vinegar mix, and
only can I use as a marinade. If I use as a floor wash, as a wash, I can wash the floors or wipe down the walls with it, clean the windows.
That cleanses the air of microbes and the energy in your home. You're nourishing your subtle body by cleansing the energy in the home, and you're protecting your physical body by eliminating any microbes that might be lingering in the air.
Vinegar is an ally.
Yes.
Part of stewarding your scentscape is picking out your own scents. Once upon a time, and I'm sure some people still do it, women and men would pick one perfume, one cologne that they always wore, one scent that everyone knew them by, with scent triggering memories. That scent triggers a memory.
Exactly. My grandfather, for instance, always wore Old Spice aftershave. For the longest time, my dad, after my grandfather passed, my dad had one of his jackets. And for the longest time, he wore the jacket because it smelled like my grandfather's aftershave and the pink wintergreen mints.
Yeah.
Because that was a candy that was always in my grandparents' home. So he wore that jacket for as long as it smelled like my grandfather.
There's part of scentscaping that you can do for your own self, for the people that you love,
by curating a personal scent or a personal scent library. My curated scent library happens to be lavender, peppermint, dragon's blood, lemon. Each one of them combat something in the energy fields around me as well as in the physical body. Lavender is a relaxer. It helps release tension and to help ease headache. I'll use the peppermint for supporting my respiratory system, but I'll also use the peppermint in order to keep pests away, since dragon's blood is a powerful smudge that helps move out any negative energy that's in the area. Lemon just is very cleansing and revitalizing.
For me, lavender and peppermint are also very important in terms of exactly the things that you said. Headache, opening the airways. Peppermint's also good for me when I'm feeling nauseated or there's a bad smell in the house, that's when I use the peppermint extract with the vanilla, like I mentioned before. And that changes the scent and the vibe in our apartment immediately.
Peppermint is definitely a refreshing, cleansing scent to have.
Having that library of scents too can help your vibration come back into alignment with itself before you even put it on, because you start to get a headache and you start thinking of lavender. And so you have like the psychological component along with the physical and vibrational ones.
Exactly. And sometimes having that psychological edge is necessary to stewarding your own energy, stewarding your landscape, and making sure that you are able to get over the hurdle of whether it's that headache or migraine, whether it's you're feeling tightness in the chest. Maybe it's even the fact that you're going to be associating with people who stress you out or going on a commute that stresses you out. Having that library and that psychological edge can help you start the process of manifesting the energy you need in order to stay in your vibrational happy place.
Yep. Exactly. Our subtle bodies are like a sponge, so they're absorbing these vibrations. And with a sponge, you can either soak up things that are good. You can soak up pure, beautiful water that's infused with essential oils and wash yourself off, or you can soak up arsenic or dirty water or radioactive waste. So it's all about sort of what you're absorbing into that sponge in your subtle body and what you're exposing it to. And then that manifests in your physical body, and those manifestations tell you something needs to change in your environment.
It's telling you you are in a constructive or deconstructive or destructive interference pattern.
So these are just a bunch of ways to nourish and influence your vibration. There's a lot of stuff that we've covered that is just about making your environment more comfortable. But honestly, that's what well-being is all about. It's about enjoying the space that you're in and the entities that you're in it with.
Oh, nicely said.
Thank you.
That's all we have on our topic for today. Thank you so much for listening in, and we hope you'll join us again soon. In the meantime, you can follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Pinterest for more witchy wisdom, both here and on our blog. And you can also check out our original art on Society 6 for sacred decor and more. Thanks again for joining us. Go make some magic and live your best life.
Bye.